But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
In case you don't know, and you haven't seen the latest polls, the American people hold the President of the United States in contempt. They hold this institution in contempt. They hold the Republican Party in contempt. They hold the Democratic Party in contempt. They think that maybe, given all of the crises facing this country, it's about time that there was some bold leadership here and that this institution made some hard choices.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my... They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. It's very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up, and they had the worst cover-up ever. And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint, when they thought about it, because whoever thought of that idea, I think, is in big trouble.
Bottom line, the American dream, the great American dream versus being a socialist hellhole.
And then they have cans of soup. And then they have cans of soup. And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
Get your words straight, Jack. Get your words straight, Jack. Get your words straight, Jack. And I have a simple proposition here. I'm here to ask you for your help. Where I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you'd like to see, help out. If not, vote for the other by give me a look them.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. And he's like this, and we were, I need water, help me, I need water, help. And he's, this is on live television. only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ, but those with the lowest IQ.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. But I tell you, if you have a problem, then you ain't black, and you ain't black, and you ain't black.
Who are you worried about? I'll tell you who I'm worried about. I'm worried about the fact that our workers are seeing a decline in their standard of living. They want to see our industry be rebuilt. That's what they want to see. No more B-2 bombers. No more Star Wars. Let's make the quality products we need. Let's invest in American industry. No, I won't yield.
As far as my relationships with all people, I think I have great relationships with all people. I am the least racist person in this room.
I gotta go. Let me respond. There's a lot to respond to here. Let's get something straight. You shouldn't be disappointed. What I've done so far is more than anybody else has done this far. Okay? Number one. Number two, I mean what I say when I say it. I mean what I say when I say it. I mean what I say when I say it. I'm the only person who's... Get your words straight, Jack. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by the... You know the thing.
And he's like this, and we were, I need water, help me, I need water, help. And this is on live television. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
Whoa, buddy! Holy macaroni! Hello, everyone. Welcome to the motherfucking stream. This is Above It All. Y'all, that's you. See what I did there? That's my little thing. I rhymed. I'm a rhymer. I rhyme. Yeah, so hopefully everyone's having a good day. I'm just moving my windows around. Hopefully they are being moved in an appropriate fashion. What if I just like died on stream? Like, what if this was like the last moment of my life? Like, I pop on with this bombastic like, hey motherfucker, and then I just cough and then die. And then like Max comes over and sniffs my rotting corpse on stream. Could you imagine? Yo, I think Max would fucking eat me. If I were dead and Max were stuck in this room for like 10 hours, I think that guy would eat me. Because usually, after Above It All is when I feed him. Normally, you know, so it's like, whoa, the show's over. Why am I not being fed? I think Max is going to eat me. Anyway, hopefully everyone's having a good time. Hello, Lilith, whom, according to reports, is first. Hello, Unknown Stoyle, who is debatably and arguably first, and I would argue that that is incorrectly attributed. Hello, Bob. Hello, JL. Hello, Billiard Dilliard. Hello, Katie Sigmon. Hello, Bodan Sevedric. Hello, Cloud. Hello, Plateau of Leng. Hello, John Pickle. Hello, JL. Again. I said that again. Hello, Cotton Balls. Hello, Unknown Stoyle once again. Hello, John Pickle once again. Hello, Nicholas Nordland for the first time. Hello, Bob for the second time. What I meant that you were not first. Well, that is also correct. Anyway, hopefully everyone's having a good time. I've got some things that I'm going to talk about. First, before we begin, Merry Christmas. This is my new coffee cup, delivered to me by my brother. So, got a new coffee cup, elephant related. As you can see, we got some cold ass, motherfucking ass, son of a bitch motherfucking ass coffee here. And, pretty good. Max does this thing where he likes to stare at the mirror. Look at that. He's just standing in front of the... Now he's scratching himself. But look at this fucking dog. He's just standing in front of the mirror. He does this sometimes. He will lay on the floor and just stare at himself. Look at that. Do you think he's looking at me in the reflection? Do you think he's trying to be sly? Like, I'm looking at him in the webcam, right? Which is basically a reflection. And Max is getting back at me. Damn right. Anyway, I like elephants. And so we are going to begin the program. I would like to give everyone a fair warning. Today, I'm going to get into some drama. And I want, you know, there's a lot of cross-section of people that watch me and people that watch other people in the left-wing media empire space. And I'm going to be criticizing some people in that space. And I'm going to be doing so constructively. And I'm going to be doing so in a way that is less drama-related as possible. But I'm sure that I'm going to get some replies that are going to be epic cringe. So I'm just being honest. One of the things that I've decided to do at this current moment is, you know, we just had an election. I think we can ignore the Trumpers for a little bit, because there's a big problem in left media right now, with attention whoring and grifting and profiteering off of manufactured movements, and I think it's very damaging. And let's just say I'm not a fan. So, yeah, so I will be discussing some multiple left-wing figures today. If you know, if that's offensive to you, I'm sorry. But just know that, again, I'm not trying to cancel anyone. I am not like the arbiter of arbitration. You know, like I can't arbitrate, so I'm not the arbiter of arbitration. And as a result, I will not be able to arbitrate. I don't know what I'm saying. But anyway, I've got a few things I'm going to be talking about nonetheless. So I would like to start by discussing this from a couple days ago. And this is epic. You're going to like this. So the proud ass, motherfucking ass, son of a bitch and ass boys, right? These motherfucking boys, they have gotten owned once again. And when I say own, of course, I am not referring to One America News Network, because I am not an unhinged psychopath. So here I have a little statement from the Hotel Harrington, which I believe has been kind of a meeting and also a breeding ground for MAGA Looney Tunes over the last couple of months, you know, with this million MAGA marches and all the other shit that they do. They were planning, like, to occupy DC on January 6th in order to try to force Mike Pence to install Donald Trump as president, like some far-fetched dumbass bullshit. And the Hotel Harrington, oops, Washington, D.C. has been our home for 106 years, and we join with all of our guests, visitors, staff, and neighbors in our concern and desire for everyone's health and safety. We greatly appreciate and the trust our guests have placed in Hotel Harrington over the years, and we wish to continue to earn that trust. While we cannot control what happens outside of the hotel, we are taking additional steps to protect the safety of our visitors, guests, and employees. Hotel Harrington will be closed on January 4th, 5th, and 6th. We will not be accommodating guests, with the exception of our long-term residents who call our hotel home. Refunds will be made for all prepaid reservations. Notifications are being sent to all reservation holders beginning today. So, oops, right? I guess the Proud Boys are going to have to figure out something new. They will, of course, but good on this hotel for doing what they can do. And hopefully, again, these refunds, you know, maybe hopefully they're a little slow, right? Maybe send them a check in the mail, right? The USPS, right? So we'll see how that goes. Hello, Baku. You have received your $600 meme money. Tell Nicholas to ask, or to, I guess he doesn't have to ask anybody. Tell Nicholas to look for my meme money, because, reminder, my meme money is linked to his account. And I'm also not certain if Nick is going to get me money. And so if it's only one stimulus in his account, then tell him to talk to me and we'll deal it out. How many subs did I have at the start of the year? I can look at that, actually, so I will look at that right now. Is this in reference to yesterday? Nick will not get the meme money. Oh my god. Fucking Nick will not get the meme money. That is unfortunate for Nick. Alright, so, YouTube Analytics, what it has is a very nice 365-day view, so I will see. I have gained 3,500 subscribers since December 30th, 2020, or 2019. So 3,500 increase, which means, I guess I started at, whatever 7 minus 3 is. What is 7 minus 3? Right? And then I'm at 7,691, so 3.6 thousand, so we'll just round that down. Boom. There you go. So that was about 4,000. Almost double. If I could get 300 more subscribers by the end of tomorrow, doubled, I would have officially doubled my YouTube subscriptions. So tell your friends, tell your family. And also make a bunch of... No, I'm just kidding. Ow, I just fucking hit my fingertip against the glass desk. I am now injured. Hello, Spoopy Penguin. I'm hurt. And, But, yeah, Baku, tell Nick to, speak to me if, the stimulus goes in, and we will discuss an option where I'm willing to split it with him again. I would also recommend that you split it with him again, so that I can get more money out of the situation. Baku, you're the one who stole him from me, so I think you should take responsibility for that. So I'm just throwing that out there. There you go. It's interesting seeing the rise of certain channels this year. Reinhardt, of course, is a Trump fanboy. Hello, Reinhardt. Welcome to the stream. Certainly pretty interesting. I would agree with that analysis. It's an accurate analysis. So, okay, I don't know where to fucking begin. There's like a lot of shit that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to like trim the fat a little bit. All right, let's talk about Bernard. I have yet to watch this clip, but Bernard tweeted this or yesterday evening. And Bernard says, "Bring $2,000 checks up for a vote, Mitch. That's what democracy is about. That's what the American people want." And it's a little clip of him on a CNN interview.
Senators.
Well, let's watch. It's 3 minutes, we'll go. I wish you could do 1.5x on Twitter, but, whatever.
Sanders, thanks for joining us. As you know, the Senate Majority Leader is...
Also, Bernie Sanders, are you kidding me? You are a senator. You are a United States senator, one of the most powerful politicians in one of the most powerful countries in human history. And the fucking bit rate is choppy? Are you kidding me?
Now combining the $2,000 stimulus checks with two of President Trump's other demands, a repeal of internet regulations and a voter fraud investigation, even though there wasn't any widespread...
I just want to say that this is misframing. This anchor has no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Either that or they were paid to lie. Section 230 is not an internet regulation. If anything, it is an internet deregulation. Because what Section 230 says is if I say like a death threat on Twitter, right? Twitter is not criminally or legally liable for what I post on their website. Section 230 says they are a platform and the person who posts the message on that platform is the one liable, not the platform itself. Now, obviously, copyright law interferes with that. We're talking about actual, slander, libel, death threats. We're talking about that kind of stuff. So it's not a regulation. I mean, I guess technically in the technical sense, right? But the idea that it's just a regulation and then you can remove the regulation and then it will be unregulated. It's really crappy framing. So let's watch.
Spread voter fraud in this presidential election we just had. What does that mean for millions of struggling Americans hoping for these bigger checks?
Well, look, Jim, there is a level of economic desperation in this country right now that we have not seen in our lifetimes. I mean, that's just the simple, painful truth. And that means that there are people by the millions who are worried about being evicted, thrown out onto the streets in the midst of this terrible, horrific pandemic.
I just want to say, I want to, again, messaging matters, right? Every little twitch of your ear, every little, like, button on your jacket matters when it comes to being a public figure. So I just want to say, Bernie Sanders wearing a mask in almost all of his public appearances, and then also almost all of his Senate floor appearances, I think is an incredible display of solidarity. The idea that these CNN anchors aren't wearing masks, I think, is a little ridiculous. Now, again, if CNN, MSNBC, and let's just ignore Fox and the other ones, right? If every single anchor had a mask on at all times during these shows, even if they were alone in their closet, what it would do is it would signal to the American people that wearing masks is normal, this is normal, and that this is what you should be doing. So I just want to say that is not something that Bernie gets credit for, like, at all. And I think it's something very useful of, like, again, being a U.S. senator, having the bully pulpit of your office, you are able to just, like, have that subconscious kind of mask-wearing kind of impetus go through just your television appearances. So I just want to say that. And also, again, 40 seconds into this interview, and he's mentioning an eviction crisis, housing crisis, right? These are the two most important things, or the one most important thing, in my opinion, going on right now, is the eviction crisis, the housing crisis, people not having a place to live, people being evicted, people losing everything that they've got, their savings being wiped out, their home being foreclosed on, right? This is a giant issue, and I'm glad that Bernard is foregrounding that issue. So let's watch.
People don't have the money to go to a doctor, and we're seeing a record level of hunger in America now, where families are unable to feed their kids. That's the reality. Now, the House last night did the right thing. And what they did do is we fought hard to get a direct payment in the original bill, the $600 payment. That's not enough. We wanted more. And what the House did is they raised that to $2,000. What must happen now in the Senate, what I'm fighting for.
I'm just curious. And again, this is my job, right? This is not y'all's job. Does anyone know, is this bill going to give us an additional $2,000, or is it going to give us $1,400? Like, because let's say the stimulus check hits my account, I've already got $600, right? Are they going to give me an extra $2,000, or is it $1,400? I'm not entirely sure. I think it's just increasing, so I think it's $1,400 extra, and there would be two different payments, I think. But I haven't really read the text of all these bills. I know, right? This should be my job, but I'm just a fucking comedian. Hey, I'm just a jag-off comedian, right? So I don't need to research that stuff. But
is to make sure that that clean bill, the bill that was passed in the House, comes to the Senate. We voted up or down, and frankly, between...
Yo, I'm sorry. Just look at Bernie's ear. Like, isn't this the most adorable thing? Like, don't you just see this and you want to give this guy a hug? Except, like, you know, don't do it because there's a pandemic. But, like, seriously.
In the House, comes to the Senate. We voted up or down, and frankly, between you and me, I think we have the votes to pass it. That's what the American people want.
And Senator Sanders, President Trump tweeted today that unless Republicans, quote, have a death wish, they should approve the $2,000 payment.
Yo, I didn't see that! Oh my god! What? How did I miss that? That was yesterday afternoon? How the fuck? How did I miss that? Oh my god, that's incredible. Oh my god, unless Republicans have a death wish, and it is also the right thing to do, they must approve the $2,000 payments ASAP. $600 is not enough. Also, get rid of Section 230. Don't let big tech, again, he doesn't know what Section 230 is. I don't think Trump or anyone in Trump's office has explained to him what Section 230 is, right? This is just something he's grappling on. So I want to be honest, right? I want to be very clear that you know what Section 230 is. Section 230 says that, again, Twitter is not liable if if I start slandering someone on their platform. Like, if I upload my video and then call Bernie Sanders is evil, he beat the shit out of my nephew, right? If I were to say that, technically Bernie Sanders could sue because that is slander, right? Now, Section 230 says that I am the one liable, not the platform I posted on. So again, and it also has nothing to do with big tech. It's across websites. I've got my website, speed.dog, and if you leave a comment on one of the pages on my website, then theoretically, if Section 230 is revoked, I'm then liable for that comment. So do not leave any comments on my website as soon as this Section 230 thing happens, if it does happen. But definitely do not leave comments on my website. But again, this tweet, amazing, really funny stuff. Let's go.
Quote, have a death wish. They should approve the $2,000 payments ASAP, although, of course, he's attached these other demands to that. Do you fear that these repeated attacks coming from the president could torpedo his own push that you support?
Well, you know, as somebody who disagrees with Trump on everything, I got to say he's right on the need for this $2,000 check. And I hope the Republican leadership listens to him. And the other issues that are out there, do you think, Jim, that all over America people are saying, my God, we have to repeal Section 230 of the 1996 Telecommunications Act? My God, that is a major national priority.
I love it.
Nobody even knows what that is. And the other thing...
I'm sorry. Yo, again, Bernie motherfucking said, like, all these fucking Jimmy Dore fanboys coming to my fucking streams and my channel. I hate Bernie. Like, remember when I did that fucking debate with Skeptical Mantis a couple of weeks ago or a month ago? And he's like, Bernie's a sellout. He's so bad. Dude, how can you not like Bernie Sanders? Like, first of all, this guy's going nuts, right? His hands are just fucking wild. Like, they can't be controlled, right? And this guy is like, no one even knows what Section 230 is. You know who's included in no one? Donald Trump, the president of the United States. He doesn't even know what Section 230 is, right? So again, it's a really fucking good move. Just say, who knows? Who cares what the fuck that dumbass bullshit is? Let's get the $2,000, right? It's amazing.
God, we have to repeal Section 230 of the 1996 Telecommunications Act. My God, that is a major national priority. Nobody even knows what that is.
Now, I just want to say the 1996 Telecommunications Act is a giant fucking disaster, and it kind of laid the groundwork for a lot of the problems that we face as far as the internet crisis in this country. The 1996 Telecommunications Act was supposed to give these companies a lot of room for expansion, a lot of room for upgrading their services, you know, getting better cables, getting reach to more rural areas, and they kind of just pocketed most of the cash and then barely upgraded their services. So I just want to say the 96 Telecommunications Act is very problematic. But again, Section 230 is not like the most problematic part of that, right? So like if you want to go on to an in-depth analysis of the 96 Telecommunications Act or the Communications like Decency Act or whatever, like I'm down to go into that, right? But Section 230, it's one of the good parts.
And the other thing about voter fraud, you know, Trump keeps talking about how we...
When you say that, I just vote a fraud. Like, motherfucker, this guy just said fraud.
Priority. Nobody even knows what that is. And the other thing about voter fraud, you know, Trump keeps talking about how we won the election. Nobody in their right mind believes that. He lost.
I'm sorry. I know, right? Bear with me. I love hyper analyzing the way people speak, right? Especially people with New York accents, right? But just listen to the way this guy talks. He's so good and so normal.
Nobody even knows what that is. And the other thing about voter fraud, you know, Trump keeps talking about how we won the election. Nobody in their right mind believes that. He lost the election. We can separate those issues.
I just want to say, Bernie, I love you, but 70% of Republicans happen to think that that's true. So nobody believes that except for 70% of Republicans. Okay, but, you know.
We want to take a look at Section 230. It's an important issue. Yeah, we should. There's a way to do that. Not now. How do we create elections so that everybody can find it can more easily vote? We do away with voter suppression. There are issues out there. We can discuss it. But right now, the issue on everybody's mind is, how do I survive? How do I feed my kids? How do I not get evicted? So what we have got to do is just demand that McConnell bring forth a clean House bill. The House did it. By the way, they did it in a bipartisan way. I think there were 46 Republicans who voted for it. Bring it to the floor. I can't guarantee that it's going to win in the Senate. We need 60 votes. I think we got a damn good shot to win it. Bring it to the floor for a vote, Mitch. That's what democracy is about. That's what our job is, to vote these things up or down. Let's get that vote.
I love him. Again, like, Like, I really, like, I'm sorry, but I know I hate to weave this, like, fucking dumb YouTube drama into things, but, like, could you imagine thinking that Bernie is a net negative for progressive politics in this country? Imagine thinking Bernie is a net negative for a leftist growth in this country. Like, literally, imagine doing that. Like, imagine fucking doing that, dude. Like, imagine, right? You go on YouTube comments and say, Bernie is a CIA op, and he's done such a disservice for the like, I get these comments every day, and it's like, what? Is like, are you okay? Do you need medical attention? Like, no wonder you're such a vociferous advocate for Medicare for all, because you need some therapy, motherfucker, right? Now, again, is Bernie perfect? Is he God? Hell no. But is he the best we got? Absolutely. And again, I love the New York-isms from his speech. It's great. And I love this guy, and God bless. What are you gonna do? Hello, Satanic Panic. Thank you for the 99-cent devil. It's a scary devil, but it's worth the money. Reinhard Miller. I mean, Bernie has tree houses as well. Yo, that sounds awesome. Imagine having tree houses. Love it. Nobody should be allowed to spend their money during... What are you talking about, Reinhardt? Again, sometimes we get Trumpers in here, and Trumpers typically are not very adept when it comes to the English language, right? So, like, we're talking about Bernie Sanders, and then Reinhardt is like, so nobody should be allowed to spend their money during a pandemic? What? Wait. What? What an unknown story. None bought in the middle of a pandemic with millions losing healthcare and jobs. Yeah, there you go. I mean, I agree with that. You would understand if you would read. What does buying a $2 million house have to do with, like, going to fucking 7-Eleven and getting a pack of cigarettes during a pandemic? Like, you are making this broad, fucking bizarre conclusion based on your inability to understand the English language, and it's honestly a little, it's a little embarrassing. But anyway, again, Bernie Sanders going in, God bless America, right? So, I've also got this article here, from Newsweek that says apparently Sherrod Brown is going to be joining in Sanders' efforts. So I'm going to read that and we'll see. I haven't read this article yet, so it might be garbage. Ohio Democrat Senator Sherrod Brown said Tuesday that he would push for a Senate vote on $2,000 stimulus checks by joining Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders' filibuster on the Senate floor. Yo, imagine the tag team, right? Oh, God bless. Sanders called for a Senate vote on increasing direct payments from $600 to $2,000 on Tuesday, a motion which gained an immediate objection from Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. When McConnell asked for a vote on overriding President Donald Trump's veto on the 2021 National Defense Authorization Act, Sanders voiced his objection. Sanders' filibuster could potentially keep the Senate in session until January 1st, taking up parts of the Senate's scheduled holiday recess. On Tuesday, Brown indicated he would join Sanders in making the vote on direct payments occurred. Wait, on making sure the vote on direct payments occurred, my bad. I will join Senator Sanders. An amazing statement. Brown told MSNBC's Mehdi Hassan on Tuesday, I mean, I'm in Cleveland right now. I will be arriving in Washington by car tomorrow. What is that detail? I will be arriving at Washington by horseback. I will be arriving at Washington via skateboard, like by car. Like what? Like what the fuck? But okay, a little afternoon, and I will join Senator Sanders. I will be on the floor to make sure this comes to a vote. Newsweek reached out to Sanders' office for comment. Democratic Massachusetts Senator Ed Markey is also expected to take part in Sanders' filibuster. Yo, I'm loving this shit. We should have a vote. Okay, I have a question. Can all of the people in my chat room right now figure out exactly when this is going to occur and what live stream I could watch it on? I would love to watch this filibuster live. So just let me know, please. Because I would love to cover the whole thing live if I can. I don't. Is it happening this afternoon? Like, what is today? Wednesday? Thursday? Today's Wednesday, so it should be happening this afternoon, right? So, someone, this is the chat's homework. Well, I read this rest of this article. Go figure out where I can watch the filibuster, when it's going to be happening. Thank you. All right. And Markey says, we should have a vote, Markey said in the floor remarks on Tuesday. It should be a yes or no, and we should do this before the end of the year. Trump supports providing $2,000 direct payments, blah, blah, blah. We already know that. Unfortunately, Trump wrote in a December letter to the House, the act fails to include critical security measures, including provisions that fail to respect our veterans and our military history, and contradicts efforts by my administration to put America first in our national security and foreign policy actions. By the way, we just got hacked last week, but don't talk to me about that. We're putting America first. National security. I know that I just fired the head of cybersecurity and then Russians hacked our nuclear defense program, but, national security. The House voted to override, we already know that. Today, Sen Markey and I demanded a vote on $2,000 for working people, Sanders tweeted Tuesday, that's yesterday. It's simple. No vote, no New Year's break for senators. McConnell proposed legislation on Tuesday, blah, 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 I already know that. Okay, this article sucks. Anyway, Sherrod Brown is going to be joining the fight with a one Bernard and a second Edward Markey and Sanders respectively. And by respectively, I mean if you reverse them, because I said their names in opposite order. But either way, I like Sherrod Brown. He's a little cringe sometimes. He sounds like he smokes 15 cartons of cigarettes in a single hour every day. But, you know, I'll take him. And hopefully this should be a very fun event. 3 p.m. it says? Cloud? Sometime around 3 p.m. All right, here's the deal. I will cover this filibuster live if I can watch it on C-SPAN and someone provide, like, at me on Discord, at me on Twitter if I forget. By the way, I'm going to smoke a lot of weed, so bear with me. So that's going to be today's project. Like, just get me a time, get me a stream, and I will go live, and I will cover the entire fucking thing, no matter how long it lasts. So, throwing that out there. If it lasts until 2 a.m., I'll be live until 2 a.m. Throwing that out there. You see this lighter? Look at this. See this lighter? I just threw it out there. And that's what I'm going to do with my messages. So, there you go. Alright, I just fucking slightly moved and my spine cracked. Love that, right? Isn't that great? Bada boom. Alright, so, again, today I'm going to be getting into some drama. And I guess I'll get into the drama right now. Again, I want to make this very clear. I do not hate and I hate Jimmy Dore. Like, that's clear. I'm gonna be upfront about that. I despise Jimmy Dore. But I do not hate. Let me just put the clip up. This is what I'm gonna be covering. All right. So, Brianna Joy Gray 2 days ago posted this clip with Andrew Yang, and again, I do not hate either of these people, and I want that to be very, very clear. That I do not hate either of these people. However, this clip, I think, is slightly problematic because it is posted with, like, the idea Andrew Yang is endorsing hashtag force the vote. And Andrew Yang gives, like, a 5-second, oh, this sounds like a decent idea. And I want you to watch this clip. And again, I don't hate either of these people, right? But I do think that there is some very problematic things going on in the leftist media and podcasting space, especially when it comes to the force the vote thing. So I want that to be very clear, and this is a constructive criticism, okay? And I want that to be clear. I do not hate either of these people, and again, I'm the only reason I'm trying to foreground this and underscore this so much is because whenever I talk about this subject, I get a fucking flock of fanboys saying that I'm like a tone policer and that I'm an SJW, like anti-Medicare, like, I want to be very explicit about that. So let's watch this clip here, and then I will judge it live on stream. Just kidding. All right.
Could say
yes,
we're not
force
going
the
to
vote. Let's talk about force the vote.
force the vote. So they
Damn, that's loud. Can we talk about, like, holy shit?
make it so that Nancy Pelosi can't be Speaker of the House unless she concedes to certain demands. And what the main demand that's being pushed right now is that she have a floor vote on Medicare for all. And the idea being not because there's a high likelihood that that we would win, that the House would pass Medicare for all. There are only 118 co-sponsors in the House. Now, Democrats have a majority, and if every Democrat in the House voted for Medicare for all, we could pass Medicare for all. And I think we should reflect on what it means that all the House Democrats wouldn't pass Medicare for all in the middle of a global pandemic.
So, one of the things that I want to talk about this here is, wouldn't it be great if the House passed Medicare for all? Abso-fucking-lutely. You know what the House passed a couple years ago? $15 minimum wage. You know what the House passed? Equal Rights Act. You know what happened to those? They died in the Senate. Right? So, this is, like, I just don't, like, this is a step one process. These people, and when I say these people, I'm referring to people in favor of Force the Vote, and Brianna Joy Gray has been running on this train a little bit awkwardly. And she's, I think, she's doing cover for the Jimmy Dore and the idea itself. And I'm going to go into that in a little bit. But the idea here is that, okay, we're going to force the vote. Now, even if, right, best case scenario, like literally the best case scenario is that it passes the House. It's not going to pass the Senate. Joe Biden has said he would veto Medicare for all. If this happens now, Trump would certainly veto Medicare for all. Right? So the idea that they are, like, these people are not being honest about what's going on here, I think is problematic. Now, another thing about this, again, remember the Equal Rights Act, remember $15 minimum wage, remember, like, all the, like, criminal justice reform, remember, like, the HEROES Act, all these things that the House passed, right? Does anyone know about them? No. Does anyone have any idea what the fuck they are? No. Why? Because they died in the Senate. Right, so again, if the House passed Medicare for all, the best case scenario would be the House passing Medicare for all is the best case scenario. Right, it's not going to pass the Senate right now. That's why I think if this is your thing, if force the vote is your thing, you should be primarily focused on the Georgia Senate runoffs, in my opinion. Now, first of all, force the vote is not my thing. So I'll cover the Georgia Senate runoffs every now and then if something funny pops up. But I think the most important thing you could do if you want Medicare for all, if you want to force the vote, if you want this to happen, the most important thing is making sure that 2 Republican senators get ousted on January 5th, in my opinion. So let's continue.
That's a real, I think, indictment of our politics right now. But, there's a lot of people are pushing back against the idea, saying, well, you're not going to win anyway, so what's the point? And it's all performative. Well, for a lot of us, especially on the left, if you don't do something that can grab attention, if you don't do something performative, if you don't do the Cupid shuffle, if you don't figure out a way to marry the performative and the substantive, to say force the vote and let's hold up Nancy Pelosi's speakership, let's threaten Nancy Pelosi, who obviously politically, because she is one of the least liked, her favorabilities are worse than Trump. 3/4 of Americans think she should step down. Let's make her the center of the story.
See, now again, I agree with this analysis. However, this analysis relies on the hypothetical scenario that left-wing media could control a narrative around a Medicare for all floor vote. Now, again, I like Bree, right? And I want to be very explicit about that. She was the press secretary for Bernie Sanders' campaign. In the last couple weeks before the Bernie campaign died, March 15th, right? The last couple weeks, Brianna Joy Gray, and again, I like her, and again, constructive feedback here. She was getting in Twitter fights, and she kind of just let the media talk about Castro over and over again, and she had no input on national press around the story in any capacity. Now, am I to say that it's Brianna Joy Gray's fault? Absolutely not. The deck is stacked against us, is my point here. Now, am I saying that someone better could have been in that position? Possibly. That's a hypothetical. What I am saying is that if we can't control the narrative, having won the 3 first primaries in the Democratic primary process, and the mainstream media surrounded Bernie and just destroyed him in the final weeks, the Bernie campaign had such incredible momentum, and it was stunted overnight by mainstream media and Barack Obama, right? So what makes you think that that's not going to happen again? And that's my problem with this, is it's more likely that if this occurs, we will lose, and Medicare for All will lose popularity. That is more likely, especially if Jimmy Dore and Nico House are the ones in charge of running for it. And again, I don't hate these people. I don't, but let's...
And also wet it with some substantive policy goals. Let's get Richard Neal out of the Ways and Means Committee because he's going to block Medicare for All. Let's get rid of PAYGO because that stands in the way of us being able to get all kinds of big ticket items that PAYGO requires you to fund them as you go along, and it makes it very difficult. Do we kind of put those things together? Because the average American doesn't want to hear a bunch of wonkery about PAYGO, but they might be interested in Nancy Pelosi, right? And vice versa. And you got to learn how to do a stunt, how to figure out how to exploit the system, which is very...
Now, I just want to say, as Brianna Joy Gray is doing this hypothetical force the vote scenario, by the way, it's not happening. The deadline's approaching. But as she has spent the last 3 weeks doing this hypothetical scenario where we could force the vote and win the world, Bernie Sanders has been actually putting in effort to get $2,000 stimulus checks passed. So, again, everything that she is saying we need to do around force the vote is what Bernie is doing, and the force the vote crew hates Bernie. Jimmy Dore goes on a show and says Bernie sucks all the damn time, right? And that's why I think this is a problematic alliance. Now, I want to finish this clip, and then I'm going to go into some other problematic things.
Biased against the interest of the left, biased against the interest of working people.
I like the idea of forcing the vote. I mean, you should be able to vote on a policy that a lot of people support, and if you're not for it, then you don't vote for it, and then we know, or you know.
This is I just want to say, this whole clip is about Andrew Yang endorsing force the vote, and this is the most tepid, it's a decent idea, I guess, right? By the way, this is a really good freeze frame. Oh my god, that has to be the thumbnail. I'm sorry, Brie, that has to be the thumbnail.
Working people.
I like the idea of forcing the vote. I mean, you should be able to vote on a policy that a lot of people support, and if you're not for it, then you don't vote for it, and then we know, or you know. I mean, it's it shouldn't be that controversial in my mind.
Yeah, me either.
Well,
now again, is that the stunning endorsement? Andrew Yang says he's into the idea. Now it's again, this is the clip that she is choosing to post. This is an editorial decision, and that's why I'm focusing on the clip. Now again, the full interview could have different context, absolutely. But Bree made an editorial decision to make a tweet that says Andrew Yang is into force the vote, and then this is the thing that's included in the clip. So I think he's saying, yeah, it's a decent idea, but also he doesn't really understand the mechanisms of the idea, right? He's also not really even saying he's for it. He's just saying he's for the ideas like that in general, right? It's a very tepid endorsement. Now, I just want to be very, very clear, and you can disagree with me, and you're allowed to disagree with me, okay? I just want to make this very clear. I am not trying to cancel Bree in any capacity. Now, I am criticizing her because I think what she is doing is problematic. Now, here's another thing that I saw. And so, again, I'm just tacking this on. So, Nico House is going to be doing a March on Washington idea. Which, by the way, I want to say this is my idea. So, Nico, unblock me on Twitter and give me credit for this idea. This is my idea. 2 weeks is all that came up. All that I needed to come up with this idea, 2 weeks. And Nico House stole it. But, so, I want to say Nico House is a transphobe. He blocked me because I asked him to retract his very transphobic tweets about biological males. I asked him to retract that. He blocked me. Didn't respond, just blocked me. So, the idea that Bree is going to be using Nico House as an ally, I think that is very, very problematic. Now, again, another person on this list is Fiorella which, yes, this is the person I'm thinking of. This person, Fiorella fucking Isabel, this person right here, has, now I don't have the tweet on me right now, so I'm sorry, If you want, I can look it up. Actually, I'm just going to look it up just to be clear. So give me a second. This person that is also going to be joining, and again, I'm not trying to say guilt by association. I'm not trying to do this. I'm just saying I think that this is a very problematic coalition. This person has said that Joe Biden stole the election. And I want to be very clear about that. So I just looked up fraud on this person's Twitter. This is who Bree and Nico House are coalescing with, and these are only the people I know. I don't know the other people. This isn't about claims, but facts. If you're expecting an article in the CIA-friendly Intercept or NYT about election fraud on a massive level, you're not really understanding what's happening here. You act like this is our claim. Election fraud has been apparent for decades. Everyone talks about the machines, the analogies. You should, though, because it's done the same way. We showed the video breakdown of Texas that you mentioned compared to the general. Election fraud is wrong no matter who does it and for whom. If you're reporting as Bernie was cheated in the primary, but suddenly Dems stopped rigging elections in the general and haven't... So, again, this person is promoting Trumpist conspiracy theories on their Twitter page. And now, again, am I saying that Bree is canceled because she's coalescing with these people? Two transphobic Tulsi Gabbard supporters, one of which I think Nico might be on the election fraud bandwagon. I'm not sure. I remember people saying he was, but I'm blocked from his page, so I can't look it up real quick. But two of these people that are involved in this are very, very, very bad. And I don't know who the other people are. So I want to say Bree making these problematic alliances. Jimmy Dore makes transphobic jokes, mocks women of color, says Bernie Sanders is evil, right? Nico House supported Tulsi Gabbard, says her bill was not transphobic, refers to trans women as biological males, blocked me for asking him about it. Fiorella I'm sorry, I don't know how to say her name, believes that the election was stolen, Donald Trump is the real winner, etc., etc. These people, I'm sorry, this is not an alliance that I can endorse. Now, another thing that I have to be clear, I am not trying to cancel Bree, but this is also extraordinarily problematic. So, yesterday on my show, I covered this tweet. Samira Khan calling AOC a, quote, fucking bitch because she liked a tweet of someone talking about her. I shit you not. And so yesterday, I looked at the likes for this tweet to just, I like doing that, right? Because this tweet is about this tweet is about AOC liking a tweet. So it's clearly unhinged. So I decided, let me see who liked this tweet, and then I can play the same game, and they can't come after me for being unhinged, because that's the thing that they're endorsing. So yesterday, Brianna Joy Gray liked that tweet, and I took a screenshot of it. Right, and you can see Mr. Ranger and Juniper Rose right there. This morning, I was getting the list open. Look, mysteriously, Brianna Joy Gray has unliked the tweet. So I just want to say that's very interesting. So that's extremely interesting that Brianna Joy Gray is associating with folks like Samira Khan, folks like Fiorella Isabel, folks like Nico House, folks like Jimmy Dore, right? And I just find that extremely problematic. These are people, again, Nico, Fiorella, they do not like transgender people. So, again, I've been saying we should march on Washington. I've been saying I want to occupy D.C. You know what? If this was the occupation, right, that let's say I lived near, I would feel uncomfortable being around these people, right? And that's my point, is we need to build a coalition that does not make people uncomfortable. I don't want to be around someone like Nico House. Now, let's be honest, right? If I had some backup, if I had like a couple people, right, I would totally get in his phone and do like the thing with the phone. Hey, Nico, how's it going? I would totally do that, right? But my point here is, again, I'm not trying to cancel Bree, but it is a fair criticism to judge people by the company that they keep. And over the last 3 weeks, Brianna Joy Gray has decided to fracture the left with this force to vote thing, decided to prop up Jimmy Dore, who is a transphobe and who doesn't even like Medicare for All. He didn't endorse it 8 months ago, right? So it's like, okay, interesting. And then also coalesce with people who believe that Trump is the legitimate winner of the election. It's an interesting thing, right? It's very interesting. And again, and I'm not trying to say this to be harsh. I'm not trying to say this is constructive criticism. Brianna Joy Gray was the press secretary for Bernie Sanders. And she was unable to control the media narrative that led to everyone voting for Joe Biden in the primaries over the course of South Carolina to March 15th. She was unable in that 2-week span to control the narrative around Bernie Sanders. And again, maybe she's learned from her mistakes. It's totally possible, right? And I'm open to that. But I'm very skeptical of this plan. If Jimmy Dore is involved, if Nico House is involved, if Samira Khan's involved, if Fiorella Isabel is involved, if they're all involved, I'm very skeptical that Brianna is going to be able to shift the media narrative. If you can't shift media narrative while backing the winning presidential candidate, the presidential candidate who is winning, you have literally the biggest microphone, right, on the biggest thing, and you can't shift the media narrative. What makes me, or what makes anyone else think that you're going to be capable of doing so when you don't have that platform? You have your podcast that gets a couple thousand views, and I'm happy about that. But my point is, she's getting too big for her britches, and I think it's dangerous, and I think it's problematic that she is grouping up with these people. Again, I cannot be associated with people who call me a biological man. And if you think that that's like identity politics, I'm sorry, but maybe you should go outside or speak to a woman maybe once in your life, right? Like, imagine if rapists were allowed at the march, at the Women's March, right? You just had a bunch of rapists organize the Women's March. Imagine that. A bunch of women would not feel comfortable going to the Women's March if it were organized by people who are sexually harassing and assaulting women. And to me, right, in my opinion, this is the same thing on this level for trans people. If this march is being organized by people that hate trans people, why should I, a trans person, be interested in it? And again, trans people are some of the most in need of Medicare for all, right? So again, I'm just saying, and I'm not trying to cancel anyone, I'm saying that Brianna Joy Gray is utilizing, and look at this clip, again, editorial decisions to clip things like Andrew Yang is agreeing with Force the Vote when that's a very tepid endorsement, if an endorsement at all, right? She is associating with people like Nico House and Jimmy Dore. I'm sorry, but I am losing a tremendous amount of respect for her, and I hope that when this window closes for Force the Vote, I hope that this is a grift that she goes away from, but I am worried that that is not the case. So that's all. I'm just giving my worries. I'm giving my opinions on the situation. Again, I'm not trying to cancel anyone. This is constructive feedback. And again, who cares what I say, right? Brianna Joy Gray gets fucking 10 times the views I get. She must be right, right? I don't know, maybe. But either way, I think it's it's a bad deal. And where it should have stopped?
And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint, where they thought about it.
That's where it should have stopped. And again, I'm very disappointed in Brie. And I just wanted to talk about that. So, boom. All right. Reinhardt, you are too dumb to live. I'm sorry. What's the term for someone born? It's called transgender. Like, what? What's the term for someone that transitioned their gender? What's the term? I can't think of a term for someone that transitions their gender. What could the term possibly be? Fucking dumb as fuck. Like, again, they're not sending their best. But, I don't know. I'm probably going to upload this segment first. Because, again, I want to spend what little social capital I've got in the left media space, and again, emphasis on very little. I want to spend that, and for the next couple months, especially because of this Force the Vote thing, I want to spend that on making sure that other left media figures are being held accountable. I'm sorry, I'm burping up a little bit because of the acid in my black coffee. Reminder, drinking black coffee can upset your stomach pH levels. So what you want to do is when you drink black coffee, try to balance it out with water, and that will usually overwrite that and equal you out. But I've been forgetting because I'm on a show, so. Orange juice kills you. Orange juice is one of the most unhealthy things that you could possibly have in your body. Carla, good commentary. I didn't know about Nico House was transphobic, but I stopped paying attention to him a long time ago. Figures, no surprise. Absolutely. Again, like, I don't know. The same people, Bree included, that were against voting for Joe Biden and said, we're going to withhold our vote. Ryan Knight, Brianna Joy Gray, Nico, Jimmy Dore, all these anti-voters, all of a sudden, the hill that they're dying on is forcing the vote for, like, members of Congress that they didn't even vote for, right? Like, it's just weird that you're going to spend 6 months after Bernie drops out talking about how you shouldn't vote, and then as soon as the election is over, all of a sudden, it's about how electoralism is the most important thing in the world. It's interesting. Say one more time. Motherfucker, Dustin, if you say that one more fucking time, I'm going to ban you from my channel. Thank you. Self-squeezed OJ can't be that bad, not any worse than eating an orange. It is actually way worse than eating an orange. When you eat an orange, the parts of the orange that don't go into the cup are the fibrous materials that make sure that the raw sugars in the orange do not break your fucking body. So, again, is self-squeezed orange juice better than processed orange juice? Abso-fucking-lutely. Is it as good as eating an orange? Absolutely fucking not, because you're not getting the fiber. The fiber is the important part. You know all those stringy bits? You know the rind? You can just eat the rind. I eat lemon rinds. This is something that I do. Lemon rinds are a little bit easier, in my opinion, to chew. But I eat lemon rinds. I just eat lemons like an apple. Because I like lemons, first of all. Second of all, lemons help kickstart the metabolism. And then third of all, the lemon rind provides a very, very, very significant source of fiber in your diet. If I squeezed OJ, I would be eating the stuff out of the orange like I eat the booty hole. Alright, fair enough. Does pulp help? Pulp does help, but it's a harm reduction thing. It's like if you're going to eat a cup of dirt versus a cup of dirt with a couple marshmallows in it. Like, is that going to be slightly better? Yeah. But are you still eating a cup of dirt? Yeah. You know, so it's one of those things. Orange juice and most fruits are loaded with sugar. Berries are the best fruits in moderation. Yeah, I mean, it's fine if you eat fruit. Like, if that's your only source of sugar, instead of, like, if you're not eating ice cream and all that other processed junk, if you're just eating, like, a fruit every once, that's fine. But you should definitely eat the whole fruit, because that's the best way to go about it. Only do that with organic lemons. I wash the fuck out of my lemons, and I typically try to get the most organic brands. Yeah, so absolutely though, you gotta, if like at the very least, you have to wash the shit out of any fruit that you buy. Absolutely. I mostly drink OJ with alcohol, so I'm already poisoned. Well, actually, fun fact, is alcohol is better for, and I'm not a professional. I'm not trying to encourage anyone to become an alcoholic, right? Alcohol is better for your liver than orange juice. Now, orange juice does have some vitamins in it that alcohol is not going to be having. But when you drink heavily fructose-laden drinks, the fructose gets stampeded at your liver. Your liver is the only organ that can process it. Whereas alcohol, a lot of it goes to your brain and reduces the health of your brain as well. That's what makes you drunk, right? A lot of it gets processed by the liver, and then some of it, just goes through in other locations, the bloodstream, especially, like, again, if you're going to do something sublingually, think about it. Yeah, so I'm just throwing that out there. This is some stuff I've been reading about. But yeah, that's my show for today. Thank you for watching. And again, hopefully y'all are appreciating what I'm doing here. I'm an alcoholic because weed is illegal here. I only mix with OJ. Well, I would recommend getting... I am a former almost alcoholic. I have attempted to kill myself multiple times with alcohol. This is my experience. I used to go through like a liter of vodka every 2 days. I'm a pro. And I can tell you right now, the best way to consume vodka, which is the only alcohol that you should consume because everything else sucks dick. And I'm not talking about the good dick. I'm talking about, like, you know, I'm not even going to give you an example of the dick that I'm talking about. But trust me, you don't want this dick anywhere near you. I would recommend Diet Cranberry Juice. Diet Cranberry Juice, again, with a lot of the sugar removed, is going to reduce the amount of fructose that you're getting, and then also provide enough of a cover for the drink so that you don't want to fucking gag your face off when you fucking get drunk. So I'm just throwing that out there. Beer is better than vodka if you like dying at the age of 50. Dustin, I disagree with your content a ton, but good luck with your channel. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Anyone, thank you, by the way, JL, for the $10. Anyone is more than welcome to disagree with me. That is, again, I do not have an echo chamber in my stream. If you want to come on my show, I accept all debate challenges, etc., etc. I do not shy away from debates, unlike Brianna Joy Gray. I'm just saying. And all that stuff. But again, if y'all can link me the filibuster, and y'all tell me the time that I need to start streaming, I will live stream in the entire Senate hearing or Senate session. Absolutely. I might play a video game while I'm doing it, so it's not going to be like just coverage of me sitting here and going like I remember watching Sam Cedar do the Mueller hearings, right? Remember the Mueller hearings when that was like a big thing? Sam Cedar was like, I'm going to stream the Mueller hearings. And like the whole stream was just people like shuffling papers and Sam going like, ugh. Like just like dead. And I am not going to be doing that. I will be playing video games. So I'm just throwing that out there. But again, it should be fun. I'm excited for that. And hopefully you tune in. That's where I'm currently at. I only drink vodka. I will absolutely try cranberry juice. I recommend, again, Diet Cranberry Juice. Cranberry juice is better than orange juice in general. I think you would need less of it. But Diet Cranberry Juice, in my opinion, with the sugar removed, is going to be your best bet for long-term alcoholism and health balancing. Now, again, I want to be very explicit. The best course of action would be to stop drinking alcohol and to stop drinking sugar. That is the best course of action. But if this is where you're at in your life, I'm all about harm reduction. Just be safe and be secure and, you know, don't die. So, I recommend Sonic Robo Blast 2 cart. I'm afraid I do not have Sonic Robo Blast 2 cart. Samira Khan is the tanky, says it all. Yeah, did you, were you here for my whole Bree segment? Because I did not go into the tanky thing, but I probably should have. But, like, I'll have other opportunities, I think. But, yeah. Just smoke weed, fuck alcohol. I agree with that, but if weed is illegal, I mean, it makes it harder. Weed is... I don't know. I have totally legal combustibles, CBD hemp flower that I buy online, totally legal, totally not, you know, I live in a state where if I didn't have that hemp flower, it would be illegal, but fortunately for me, it's all hemp flower. Right? So but yeah, I understand how it is when weed is hard to come by. If you join my Discord and send me a message, 4cheese. Join my Discord, send me a message. If you're interested in backup of an ethereal kind, just, you know, if you want a someone, you know, to support you via, you know, if you want, I can mail a video game to you via the United States Postal Service, right? Just mail a video game. Maybe you can mail me Sonic Robo Blast 2 cart, and I can mail you, a video game, you know? And, if you want a video game, like, I'm just, but yeah, if you're interested, let me know. But anyway, again, thank you for watching. I appreciate all of you, and thank you for the super chats and all that stuff. Super chat, JL, a real. I don't know what, like, JL. Are you like what are you? Are you like rich? Like you just give me like $10 every day now? Like what's going on? You know, but I appreciate it nonetheless. And I also want to give a shout out to someone who sent me money on PayPal yesterday. I don't know if they want me to read out their full name. That's a little ox, right? But thank you, regardless. If you do want to give me money on PayPal, I get more out of it than I would via YouTube Super Chats. So that's just something out there. For every $10 you give me in a Super Chat, I get like $8 of it, I think. Whereas if you give me $10 on PayPal, if you don't check the goods and service and then therefore send it as family, I get the full thing, no fee. So I'm just throwing that out there. My PayPal link is paypal.me/Andrea the doggy. I came up with that when I was really high, so bear with me. And again, thank you for watching. And I'm stupid. I have to put cash in my Google account. Oh no, I understand, JL. I understand. Deplete the cash. Deplete it as much as possible. And then once you deplete the cash into my YouTube account, then we can move on. But thank you, Carla. This channel is so worth the support. I agree. Unlike a lot of other popular podcasters in the left wing, now again, I'm not popular, right? But I'm a real person, and I'm just going to give you, I'm going to give like a little history thing. A lot of people here are new. My channel has gone through a lot of big metamorphosis this year with me starting Above It All. Again, Above It All's 1 year anniversary, I think, is going to be on January 1st. I think that was the first episode I did. Maybe it was the second. Let me look that up. But either way, again, my point is there are a lot of new viewers. I'm not going to check. But there's a lot of new viewers, and I appreciate that. But a couple years ago, and again, I've been on YouTube for 10 years. I used to be a video game streamer. And so I used to make a lot of money streaming video games. I used to make a lot of money being an edgy, like, drama, horror video game speedrunner. I've made probably, like, around 50 or 60,000 bucks over the course of, like, a couple year period. And, again, that was the only time in my entire life where I had any actual money. And in that experience, I learned a lot about how money can corrupt people, because once I started getting paid a lot of money for being like a super dramatic fucking, like, you know, let's be real, I was not that good of a person, and I got paid to basically make fun of other speedrunners, and, you know, let's be honest, they deserved it a little bit, but I definitely went over the board, absolutely. And so, but my point is, if you get paid to do something, you are more likely to do it. And so I've gone through that. I got paid a lot of money to be a very dramatic speedrun streamer. And I'm past that point. So I just want to say, if I ever do get access to that kind of money again, I have learned the lesson, I guess, of how that kind of stuff works. So my point being is, you can expect me to not change no matter what happens. Now, again, there might be some small things that people evolve and grow. But my point is, you are not going to see me support something like Force the Vote because it gives my podcast like an extra 5,000 views every day. You know, I'm not trying to, cause any shit show, but I, at the same time, I will absolutely, grift off of these people in the form of mocking them on YouTube. So, I am not against making videos mocking people like Jimmy Dore or Joe Biden or Donald Trump or whatever. I'm not against that, even if it makes me money. But I'm not going to compromise my values for money. So again, and I'll go maybe more into that. If anyone's curious about my full history online, maybe I can go into that, because I know a lot of people here are not familiar. But just throwing that out there. And again, thank you for watching. I will be live later today. So hopefully this show was of adequacy, and if it was not an adequate aqueduct of adequacy, an aqueduct being, of course, what was found in Rome, how they transferred water because they didn't know what the fuck plumbing was really. I love aqueducts, by the way. Aqueducts are one of my favorite fucking things to, like, I would love to go look at the Roman aqueducts. Like, they just look so amazing and beautiful, like, in pictures. Like, again, these monolithic structures. Anyway, thank you for watching. Y'all have a good one. I will see you again later today when Bernard takes the floor. Goodbye.
In case you don't know, and you haven't seen the latest polls, the American people hold the President of the United States in contempt. The American people hold the President of the United States in contempt, in contempt, in contempt. They hold this institution in contempt, in contempt. They hold the Republican Party in contempt, party in contempt. They think that maybe the crises facing this country, it's about time that there was some bold leadership here and that this institution made some hard choices. Who are you worried about? I'll tell you who I'm worried about. I'm worried about the fact that our workers are seeing a decline in their standard of living. They want to see our industry be rebuilt. That's what they want to see. No more B-2 bombers. No more Star Wars. We want to see no more B-2 bombers. No more Star Wars. Let's make the quality products we need. Let's invest in American industry. No, I won't yield. I won't yield. I won't yield.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose whole life? What am I going to do?
I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. I'm about to be 30. I'm about to be 34 and I have no family.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs talking about our police. Pigs talking about our police. Pigs talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. And he's like this. And we were, I need water. Help me, I need water.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.